These transmission plug adapters found on many Mercedes vehicles, as well as the Chrysler Dodge Jeep family, really, really suck. I usually wind up changing them every few years or so because I start seeing a small transmission leak forming on the ground. Of course, I also then have to lightly top up some transmission oil. Anyway, I have made multiple videos on how to change this really fast, as well as other transmission related videos. Feel free and watch that later. But anyway, I thought about trying something a subscriber asked, and if it would be possible to use an adhesive or caulk-like material to contain or stop the leak. So I decided to try it out. So this is how the underside of the transmission pan looks like. And as you can see, some transmission oil is slowly flowing down. This has seen better days. Now, on a side note, when trying to find a leak, it's best to first get an idea of where the oil leak is coming from, which might be hard to tell. So first, it might be good to see if the transmission pan's clamps, specifically its screws, are holding up the pan tightly. Now, if the screws keep spinning, then maybe that's the problem. And if so, well, you know what? Let me show a good trick to do to help keep them even more secure to spinning. I'll remove one of the screws and pan clamps. Here's a nice close-up of how it looks. If the screw keeps spinning, put some blue thread locker on it. And then screw it in by hand. And then tighten it, of course, with a torque wrench. This thread locker will provide extra holding power. Just remember to use the blue thread locker, not the red thread locker. I'll put some links in the description of all the tools and supplies I use for this project. Also, please like and subscribe if you find these videos helpful or interesting. Anyway, if the screws feel tight and are holding the pan, then the other possibility is the rubber gasket seal is bad on the transmission plug adapter located right here. Here's how it looks outside of the vehicle, and you'll see there are two rubber rings. Once this is replaced or properly seated, and if this is not causing the leak, then the other possibility is the rubber gasket seal is bad on the transmission pan, which means you have to drop the transmission pan completely. But before doing that, the most likely problem of the leak is actually a bad rubber seal on the transmission plug adapter. This is usually the culprit, but luckily it's easy to replace. And as stated earlier, I have another video you can watch on that, and I'll put that in the description. Now, back to the main point of this video, and that is doing the experiment to see if I can put some RTV adhesive all around the outside of the valve gasket and plug adapter if necessary. So I don't have to remove anything major like the plug adapter or the transmission pan to get to the valve gasket. I'm going to use clear adhesive to see if or where it leaks. I'll just squeeze this and put it all around the valve gasket. Once I'm near the clamps, I'll also remove the screw clamp one at a time so I can put some adhesive right there as well. I just put the RTV on it. It's a little bit clear and it's drying, so it might be a little hard to see it. After that, I'll put a drop of blue thread locker on the screw threads again and secure the clamp so it keeps the pan on tightly like before, with a torque wrench, of course. And then I'll do the other clamps and do the same process. Here's how it looks. Got the RTV on it all the way around. I'll wait a day or so and come back, but I'm guessing the valve gasket is not the problem and that it's the plug adapter seal. So I'll be back. Okay, so here's how it looks. And it looks like it's still leaking, as I expected. The interesting observation is you can really tell where the leak is coming from. So now I know it's coming from the trans plug adapter. So now I'm going to try some RTV. Like I'm going to put a glob of it here. Okay, I'll be back next day to see how it is. Okay, next day, and right away I can see the oil is still slowly leaking out. So I know this adhesive also did not work.
Got it.
So this experiment proves using RTV adhesive will not work and will not stop the leak. It may work temporarily to slow down the leak until you get a new plug adapter, but of course you'll still need to top off some transmission oil and monitor your car. So if that's the case, just replace the transmission plug adapter. With that being said, let me know in the comments if you have any other thoughts or ideas to try before removing the transmission pan or the main problem here, that being the plug adapter. I'm glad I tried this and confirmed that RTV adhesive doesn't work, so you don't have to try this. Anyway, I'll leave the detailed video on how to remove the trans plug adapter to watch right now, as it really is quite easy to replace. So thanks for watching, and liking and subscribing is always appreciated. Most importantly, have a great day or night.